Alright, what is up guys, N84 here and welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about Marvel's latest project being Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and I'm going to be telling you guys the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, the yes, the no's, all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, the things I like, the things I didn't like. But if you're new here to the channel, the way I do my movie reviews is the first half I'm just going to be giving you the overall gist of the movie, alright? But then once I get to that halfway point, that'll be my indicator for spoiler territory. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I'll give you the indicators, so that'll be your chance to click off. And I've been away for a while. I know I've been very busy, and I'm going to finish God of War Ragnarok, I promise. Just life is very busy at the moment. So I apologize, but enough of me, enough about my, struggles and stuff like that. Let's hop straight into this review because that's what you came here for. Before I kick this thing off, let me just say shout out to the Marvel creative team, because I actually had a lot of choices in terms of my background to choose from. But yeah, I thought this one was the best one. I thought this one, it just looked so clean, man. I couldn't help myself. All of them were pretty good, but this one was my personal favorite. So shout out to the Marvel team for giving me a lot of variety. Also, if you're someone who's freaking going into this movie thinking, oh, I saw the Rotten Tomato score, I'm not watching it, it was bad. The Rotten Tomato scores, they're not that important, okay? 9 times out of 10, their reviews are always inaccurate. This movie is definitely not a 47% or whatever it's at. So yeah, if that's something that you're worried about, just go form your own opinion at that point, because Rotten Tomatoes and IGN, their reviews are never really accurate. So yeah, anyways, this movie is pretty much exactly how I expected it to be. And the reason I'm late to the party is because I was in no rush to watch this movie at all. The trailers didn't really excite me. So yeah, man, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I gotta be there day one to watch this. And you know, it's pretty much what you expect. It's not a necessarily bad movie, but it's not great. It's not top tier. It's not a movie I'm gonna be wanting to rewatch anytime soon. It didn't really do much for me, man. Like, the thing about the Ant-Man movies are they're more of like setup movies. So the first Ant-Man movie was setting up for Civil War. The second one, Ant-Man and the Wasp, was setting up for Endgame, and now this one is setting up for Kang Dynasty. So the Ant-Man movies, they don't really have a lot of time to really be themselves. Like, they're always setting up for the future, which is kind of unfortunate. Because whenever I see someone like rank the Ant-Man movies, I mean, not the Ant-Man movies, the MCU as a whole, the Ant-Man films are usually towards the bottom. So I kind of feel bad for the trilogy now, I guess it is. So I don't know, man. The Ant-Man, I don't know how to feel about this one. I wanted to like it, but oh man. And I'm just gonna say it, Jonathan Majors, he was the best part of this entire movie. Him as Kang stole pretty much every scene that he was in. He left a pretty good impression, dude. He's up there with some of the better MCU villains. So, like your Thanos, your Loki, your Eric Killmonger. He's up there with the likes of them in my eyes. And you're wanting to see more of him after this movie. You're like, yo, he's good. So, in the fact, Marvel, they do this thing where they kind of like they schedule everything, right? So they let all the fans know what they're making. So this movie, although it's very intense and it has high stakes, you're kind of like, I know I'm gonna see him again. This person's not gonna die because they're supposed to be in this movie. So although the stakes are at an all-time high for the Ant-Man movies, it's just like you don't really get the feeling that anyone's really gonna die. So that was kind of upsetting. What else? Oh, this movie is the definition of wasted potential. Because when I tell you the Wasp and a character, well, he's in the trailer, MODOK, he's in the movie, that's been established by now. Those two characters have little to nothing to do with this movie. It's honestly just an Ant-Man, Cassie, and Kang movie, honestly. They're the three main characters, they're the three main components for this movie. If you're excited to see MODOK finally into the MCU, I hate to say it, but this movie does not do the character justice. And the MCU has a problem with wasting characters that should be a lot more important than what they are. So characters like Drax and your Quicksilver and Taskmaster and stuff like that, like Ultron, like they do the same thing with MODOK in this one. He's in the bin with them, just like they should have been a lot better than what they were, and it's so upsetting. And I'm not even a MODOK fan, so that says something. All right, man. I think this will be the part where I start, getting into like the spoilers and stuff like that. So if you don't want to hear anything like that, go away, go watch the movie, then come back and enjoy the video. And have you dropped a like on this video yet? Huh? Have you subscribed if you haven't already? Why not? I would appreciate it. It's free. Go for it. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you should. But anyways, back to the movie review. As you all know, Cassie did get recasted, Catherine Newton. She's great. Just not in this movie, unfortunately. And it's not because of her. It's just because the way that they wrote her character in this movie, it's just another instance of that wasted potential. Although I am still excited to see her, in future Marvel projects. All she did in this movie was just, Dad! 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 Like, they had her running this entire movie just yelling, Dad. This had to be an easy script for her to read. She only did that much, dude, it seemed like. So, I don't know, man. This movie, it felt like I was more so watching Star Wars half of the time than an Ant-Man film. So, I don't know, bro. Like I said, it's a setup movie. It's pretty much a throwaway movie at the end of the day. You can watch like a 3-minute summary video on this entire movie and you'll be perfectly fine. When I tell you, half of this movie I was kind of bored, if I'm being honest. I was just like, I'm just wanting to see Kang. That's literally it. And I know it sounds like I'm crapping on this movie, but it's not great, okay? It's not the worst one out there. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a great one. It's not one I'm itching to go watch again. It's not one that I would say I had a good time watching, but it's not like the worst thing you'll ever watch, Like, I'm kind of getting better at, analyzing. Like, what I said for Uncharted, I was like, yeah, this doesn't look like a good movie, but it doesn't look like, dumpster fire, but I'll watch it, why not? And that's exactly what I expected, and that's exactly what I got. So it's literally the same thing with this movie. It does do some things right, I guess. It still has that same Marvel humor. It's very hit or miss depending on who you are. So, yeah, that's there. Visually, the movie looks fine except for MODOK. I don't know what they did with him. He was probably going to look bad regardless, so I don't know. Okay, I gotta say something good about this movie. Visually, the movie looks pretty good, with the exception of MODOK. I don't know what they were doing. I feel like either way he was just gonna look bad regardless. So yeah, MODOK. The rest of the movie looked pretty fine though. A surprise appearance from Bill Murray. I forgot he was even in the movie until I watched it, so he was pretty good in the movie. I liked him. Jonathan Majors as Kang, best part of the movie in my eyes. I felt like they did the character justice. I definitely want to see more of him, so that's good. What else did this movie do well? Paul Rudd is still pretty funny, although a lot of the jokes in this movie didn't really land for me. It's that typical Marvel humor, but with certain characters like Robert Downey Jr., Paul Rudd, characters like that, they're gonna do well, so that's good. Catherine Newton, I did like her as the new Cassie Lang. Hopefully they keep her around. She has to look down. I just wish that they would have gave her some more lines and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. I know I'm being a little harsh on this movie, but I feel like I have to. If I'm being 100% honest with myself, I didn't love this movie, but it's not like the worst thing out there. But after watching it with my friends, we all came to a good agreement. So we all came to a senses of this movie is about like a 7 out of 10. It's not mind blowing, but it's not complete dumpster fire. So a 7 out of 10 is appropriate. But If you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like on it, share it, and subscribe if you are new. I would appreciate it, and it's free. But I'm in A4 and I am out. Peace.